Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Luke, and today I'm going to be talking about M.A.C.E, a new COVID-inspired horror slasher movie that is now streaming on Peacock. Looks like this movie was potentially released in 2022, but I'm kind of counting it towards a 23 release for me. I'm not really sure if this aired at any festivals or anything, but Peacock picked it up and it is currently now streaming. So the IMDb synopsis is, due to the pandemic, Parker and her best friend decide to quarantine at the family lake house alone, or so they think. This is an hour and 23-minute runtime, directed by John Hams, and I may be mispronouncing that, who is most notable for Alone and Black Summer. Once this movie kind of came out, I saw a lot of people, especially in the film Twitter space, kind of talking more about the director and his work. So I have seen Black Summer, and I'm a fan of that series. I think it's really interesting. But this also has starring Gideon Adlon as our main actress. And then I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free. It's a pretty short review. But we also have Mark Menchaca. If I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry. But most notable for Ozark. And then Jane Addams. And I won't get into who those characters are, but they were some standouts for me for sure, especially with Mark. I definitely think he's an underutilized actor. Big fan of his in Ozark and would love to see him in more movies. But essentially what we have here is just your classic slasher style movie. There's a lot of references that you can see. Inspiration was pulled from movies like Scream. Even the opening sequence is very Scream-esque. We're basically following a college student who is texting someone, and things kind of turn a little crazy as this person seems to be stalking them, and it's someone that they don't know. So a little different than the phone calls. It's more of the texting. But even while all of this is happening during really the height of the pandemic. He's trying to get some groceries. He's in a grocery store. All the shelves are cleared out. Everyone's freaking out about who's wearing a mask, who's not. Are you keeping the distance? Buying whatever he can, getting back, and then wiping down his grocery items, which I'm curious, did you do that when all of this was going on? I don't really remember doing that per se. I wasn't that concerned on that, but maybe we did. I can't remember. It's been quite a few years. And then essentially we get to our main two stars who are going off to a family lake house to basically quarantine. Even though we're at the time that all this is happening, they're being told you need to quarantine alone. They kind of choose not to and go from there. And then from there, things get crazy because we have essentially a serial killer on the loose, and we're trying to figure out what the connection is and who this person is. So going from there, a couple of things. Very short runtime, and it was very difficult for me to get connected with any of these characters, to really care for them. Like, why is a killer after them? What's going on? It's a very short runtime, like I said, and for me it was 20 or 30 minutes in. I was struggling to really care about the main people because there wasn't enough going on there, even though we've had some tension moments. And then we also have this killer. And I have to say, like, the outfit is a little strange because you usually see the killer at a distance and the killer just looks like a ninja. So it's a little weird. And there's certain aspects of, the costume and keeping the identity secret that you can see that relates to, like, the pandemic stuff with the mask and everything. But yeah, I thought that was kind of strange. Like, even the movements and things were very ninja-like, but, once it's revealed, it's a little far from it in a way. But once things pick up, this does become an entertaining watch. I'll also say that the kills within this are not bad. They're pretty brutal for a film like this. And I'm not really sure what the budget was for this movie. I was going to try to look it up real quick. I don't see anything related to a budget, but yeah, the acting for the most part, was pretty good, especially once you get into the third act and more people are revealed. I think they had a lot of fun with it. Again, a lot once you get to the tensions and the chasing and the various kills that happen in the third act. It's very entertaining if you're into like the horror slasher films. In a way, I could see this being compared to something like Happy Death Day. I could easily see this becoming some sort of trilogy potentially, kind of sticking with this realm. But, you know, for me, especially like a 2023 movie like this, I still think the pandemic stuff is a little bit lazy. It's just a cop-out. I think a lot of ideas in this are interesting, but did it have to be with a pandemic? Not necessarily. Could have been something else going on that could make it a little bit more interesting. But I think just to watch for the kills alone makes this an entertaining watch. And like I said, hour and 20 minutes, it's a breeze to get through. And I think a lot of people could enjoy this. And I think this is a movie that, you know, if you look like 20, 30 plus years from now, it's one that could be revisited of like, oh, I remember when all this stuff happened in 2020, etc. So yeah, Sick, now streaming on Peacock. I'm going to have to give it, I'm going to go 5 out of 10. I'm going to go right down the middle. I think there's some elements in this that I did like I mentioned, there's some certain actors in this that I really enjoyed seeing. I thought they had fun with it. I thought the kills were good. The pacing's pretty solid, but I'm just not sold on having another pandemic-based horror film. I just don't really think it's necessary at this point, and who knows how many more we'll get. But if you watch Sick on Peacock, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Are there any other if you're into the whole pandemic horror films, is there one that you've watched that you've enjoyed? Let me know in the comments. I don't mind checking them out, especially if they're executed very well and they're entertaining. I would love to check them out. But thanks so much. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be back later with more reviews. Everyone have a good week.